Hey guys, Jeff here, some Wolf Talk for you. I'm about to put up my Wolf Tech video either before or after this, talking about the YV929 armed Corellian freighter. Be on the lookout for that. But today in some Wolf Talk, I want to tell you guys a funny story because it's one I always love regaling, and it happens to do with D&D, not Dan and Dave, Dungeons and Dragons. Now this Dungeons and Dragons story comes from my antiquity of my youth. See, I went temporary assigned duty from Hawaii to Okinawa. And God, it was one of the worst 6 months of my life, but hey, what do I know? But while I was out there, a buddy of mine from 3rd Marines, he was attached to Marine Expeditionary Unit, and he had convinced some of his other grunt buddies, as I was intel, to come over and play some Dungeons. No, it wasn't Frank. It was a group of guys I'd ran into in the Chow Hall. Sorry. And they were playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, hey, mind if I play? I know how to play and stuff. I might need some dice. Like, dude, sure, come on over. And I was playing, and I asked them about the campaign, and they were in Greyhawk. And I asked them if I could, worship Tempest. And he said, that's fine. We can do some interdimensional stuff. And I said, well, what's the level? What's the challenge rating? And he started explaining. And he had basically let these guys make whatever kind of character they wanted. No humdrum race. So these guys had, like, challenge rating, which is basically equivalency of level. Challenge rating 8 level 1 characters. And we're talking like half dragon, half this, part vampire. I mean, just some of the most overpowered level 1 characters you could ever ask for. But the problem is, because they made all this, they can't gain levels until they hit like enough experience to get to like level 9. And I'm listening to all of this, and he's like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, I'm going to do something hilarious. And it's like, okay, what's that? I'm going to play a human fighter. And that DM just loses it. He's like, oh my God, you picked the most normal thing ever. And when you could have made the most, unbelievable fighter you could ever want. And you just pick a normal human. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what level you want me to do it? It's like, you know what? Just to even it out, because if I give you their equivalency of their challenge rating, you will just outright be overpowered compared to them. Go at level 4. So I'm like, okay. So I make a level 4 human fighter. And I get introduced, of course, in one of the most spectacularly hilarious ways as this party comes up on me. And I'm looking at it, and in the character, I'm looking like, what the hell are you all? And they're all like, what are you? I'm like, I'm just human. And as we go through the campaign, as we're going, running through the dungeon, we get into some fights, and we're getting like 2,000-3,000 experience overall. And I'm okay, that's a level. I'm like, okay, that's a level. Okay, that's a, and all the rest of them out of character. I'm like, why is he gaining so many levels? And the DM he is literally in tears because he's laughing so hard, and I'm right there with him. He's like, dude, you guys made pretty much the equivalency at level 1, level 8 and 9 characters. You can't gain levels yet because you have to get enough experience to overwrite your challenge rating. He's a basic human fighter. So of course he's going to gain levels left, right, and center. So not only am I the tank because I have the most hit points, because, I'm at this point level 7 fighter in the span of a couple hours, because DM's just trying to throw as much experience as he can to get these guys starting to level up, and I'm just reaping the benefits as I go. So not only do I turn into the tank because I just have that many hit points, I also turn into the heavy damage dealer because I have that many beats. I mean, yeah, there is a sorcerer, but he's got like level 1 spells. As I run in going, Tempest, and, one slash and I kill the thing that's in front of me, and they're just like, God damn, how is he so strong? It's like, you're a level 1, he's a level 7. So of course he's gonna run roughshod over you guys. By the time the campaign over, they all hit level 2 and I'm level 9. It was just so buddy. It's just one of those things where it sounds good in your head until you put it on paper and then realize someone who does something completely normal and they just completely power creep you. I mean, yeah, you've got all these crazy, wild, and cool abilities that I don't have, but I have hit points, abilities, and damage that, you can't even come close to yet, and I'm just, by the time they hit level, 10, I'm pretty much an epic level character. So, yeah. So when you do situations like that, kind of force, a newer player to do something that's along those lines. Because if they do something that wild and crazy just for fun, because in Dungeons and Dragons, you can do silly things like that. Have a campaign like that where you're the ridiculously overpowered level 1, but you're not going to gain any levels for a long while. And then someone comes in, it's like, oh, I'm just going to do a normal thing, and suddenly they completely power creep you out of existence because they're doing it the normal way, like I did, just to be funny. Just to prove these guys, it looks good on paper, you have all these abilities at level 1, but you're going to be fighting level 8 people, and yes, you don't have that many hit points yet. You're going to start getting the crap kicked out of you. So, and the thing is, their equipment was shoddy because, they're at level 1 levels. I was at level 4, so I already started having magical equipment and better armor, and they're just like, what is this? And it's like, he started out at level 4. He has enough gold starting out to get this kind of equipment. You don't. You have to find it, scrounge it, or buy it. He has it out the gate. And they're just like, son of a bitch. And the DM was like, and the thing is, he did this on purpose because I could have put him in as a level 8 character just to equal out the challenge rating. He willingly did this on purpose. If he'd have started out level 8, he would have had level 1 or +1 or +2 equipment out the gate, off the bat. He could have had a flaming longsword and had no problem for him to afford it. Well, you all have nothing. And they're all just sitting there scratching their heads like, yeah, maybe this wasn't the greatest idea because here comes this level 4 human fighter and he's just running away with the show. And you all just kind of, huddle behind him as he sits there, takes hits, and, keeps fighting. You guys really can't take those kind of hits. One hit and you're pretty much dead. So, just a word to the wise. If you ever do play Dungeons & Dragons, you have this fantastical stories where you build at level 1 these unreal characters that are just kind of, defy expectations. Just remember, someone could do something out of the blue and do something absolutely normal, and they will run roughshod over you just because, well, they have the ability to. Being normal doesn't necessarily mean it's worse. Sometimes you can do some really amazing things. But anyways, that's just a funny story from Dungeons & Dragons lore. If this one sounds funny, if you guys have played Dungeons & Dragons and have your own funny stories like that, let me know in the comments below. If you like this, tell me to do some more, because I've got some hysterical stories that, just sit there, make you scratch your head and go, what? But anyways, I'm Jeff. Y'all have a great one.